As we pump up dance. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. I do that at work. I come into people's offices and I'm like, hey, razzle dazzle.
I know it's a hospital and union business. However, you come in with a full mariachi band.
That's an excellent idea. I should have those little, are those canastas where they go?
Oh,
I need to get some of those. That would be awesome.
The people who didn't know you before are like, have you guys seen that new Superior Rochelle? What's her deal? What's she all about?
I think she's Doolally. I'm not sure. Was that a good hiring decision? I know.
We're sticking with it.
Yeah. They love it. They love it. Or they get fired. All right. Welcome back to another episode of Gym Bag Confessions. I am your co-host, Rochelle.
And I'm AnnMarie.
The other lovely co-host. Today we've got a fun episode. We're always fun.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about some things that have been happening lately in the industry that we're seeing that I feel like are really important for us to shed light on and talk about, like the unrealistic expectations that we set for ourselves, comparing ourselves, and how hard is too hard to push yourself. But AnnMarie, what's your confession for this week?
You were like hanging on to the words. I was like, is she gonna pull it out?
Is she gonna do it?
What is my confession? Okay, honestly, I'm not even sure I have anything like super juicy this week, but like kind of tailing on what we were saying last week, I have just been so fucking lazy this week. Just getting back from like holiday and being sick and all the things. I know you don't like this confession. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't go to the gym this week, okay? I don't even know what is on the top of my mind. She's shaking her head at me if you can't see her. She's like,
how embarrassing.
Ridiculous. I know.
My
honestly,
confession is I slept this week. I had some water. I ate. Wow, juicy.
Okay, I do have a confession that I spent way too much time on YouTube watching everybody's videos in the fitness industry. I fucking love it. And I also, it's so interesting because I've been watching a lot of this stuff in the fitness space. I've been seeing a lot of stuff about steroids that are like circulating, especially about women. I think it kind of goes to our topic that we're going to talk about today, but my confession is that my YouTube newsfeed is filled with information about women being on steroids in the fitness industry. And so if you went onto my YouTube feed, you'd probably be like, bitch is thinking about doing steroids.
The girl's about to get on a cycle.
Seriously, you'd open my thing and you'd be like, what is going on? I don't know. I just find it so interesting.
Yeah. Every once in a while, Dylan will talk about it. We're like, I mean, there's a little bit of this compelling, but no, we're not going to destroy our bodies for this.
No, it's so like I can honestly like understand the people who are professional athletes. I even had a friend who was a professional athlete and he got caught for doping, and like I can understand when you're a professional athlete because there's a lot of pressure to like perform, and I feel like especially now, performance enhancing drugs are always ahead of testing. So you want to be the best in your sport. You want to be the best in whatever you're doing. And I can see how easily you could get kind of caught up in that. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Especially in fitness with bodybuilding, because it's like, well, yeah, duh, we're all doing steroids. You just get off of it right before competition. So you're not. You know, and now it's like you've got people like Sam Sulik, is that his name? Where like they're like steroid use is like you can talk about it now and it's totally accepted. And now like teenage boys are like, well, yeah, I'm gonna do steroids, but yeah, getting off topic. Oh, I'm jumping ahead.
There's a country like Norway or Denmark or something in one of my steroid-filled journeys that I was on. researching, clearly. There's a country, I think it's Denmark, where steroids are illegal. And if you're on steroids, you get like arrested. It's crazy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Confession. Let's
Yeah.
see.
Give me something juicy, because all I had was lazy and that I've been watching a lot of documentaries on steroids.
I'm like, if I say this one out loud, I know what people are going to think. They're going to be like, I'm never listening to these girls again. So if that happens, I apologize. And it's in line with what we just talked about. And I think I've talked to you about this before, where I felt really guilty and like a bad human being for thinking this way. But I follow a lot of fitness people, girls or whatever, and I have a hard time relating to the girls that were super skinny and now they're like beautiful physique. I'm like, well, I can't relate to that because you didn't come from where I came from. Or like the girls that are like, they had eating disorders, and and eating disorders are horrible to have, right? They're like destroy your body and all the mental health issues that go with it, all the things, right? It's terrible, it's awful, and it's such a huge challenge to overcome, right? But I see the posts, I see the befores of these women that were like super skinny, and they've got like the IVs in them. And I'm not laughing at them. I'm laughing at myself, in case anybody thinks I'm a terrible, disrespectful person. I'm laughing at my idiocy, okay? Let me be clear. So they have these befores, and then you see them afterwards. You're like, oh my God, they look spectacular. And in my brain going, God, what I wouldn't give to start from there. And I'm like, sometimes I kind of want an eating disorder so I can start from the skinny. And I'm like, oh my God, you're so fucked up in the head, Rochelle, because that is not a good place to start.
No.
Yeah, but I'm like, oh, how nice. How nice. Wouldn't that be nice?
There's no judgment here, okay? No,
that'd be nice.
Yeah.
You don't have to deal with the loose excess skin and the stretch marks. I don't care about the stretch marks, actually. It's the loose skin and the, all that stuff. I'm like, oh.
Okay, I was wondering what you were saying, because when you were like, what do you mean by it when they didn't start where you are? Like,
well, they
that's
didn't
what
start.
You're talking about.
Yeah, I've dealt with, I come from being like overweight, or I have thyroid issues where it's even on top of just being hard to lose weight, it's even more hard to lose weight because I've got so many hormonal thyroid things that it's like, I can eat perfectly and exercise perfectly, and my body is still going to be like, nah, you're going to hold on to this. When I started, I was like well over 200 pounds when I was, my head
really?
I was over 220.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And I'm like, I'm at 160 right now, or, ish, but it's like, it's still like, I don't know. So it feels like the baby weight, the hormonal things, the struggling with getting weight off, all the excess cellulite, that stuff, like coming from an overweight side.
Oh,
rather than coming from this, I just have to, it feels like it's so much easier and so much more enjoyable to like, I just have to build muscle, where I have to lose weight and build muscle.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I know it's not. I know it's not easier. I know it's not. But in those moments, I go, must be nice. And then I'm like, psh, 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 you're an idiot.
Well, it's interesting, like what your brain will convince you of, because even sometimes, like when I'm on social media, I'll be like scrolling through and I'm like, oh, well, if I only had XYZ, it would be easier. If I had her genetics, it would be easier. And it's just like the things that our brain will convince us of, because I'm sure if it was vice versa, somebody else who may have experienced, like an eating disorder or something like that, they might be saying, I wish I
must be nice. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. Yeah.
I mean, you could say that for anybody. So that's why I like laugh at myself, because I know it's just like straight idiocy. And it's like maybe that would be considered victim-y, but or just that. I think it lends perfectly to the topic that we're talking about. That wasn't even the confession that I planned on sharing, but I felt like it was really appropriate.
But wait, tell me about your challenge first.
Okay, cool.
And then we'll go to the topic.
Okay, challenge. I feel like I gotta pull up my big girl panties and like get more dialed in. I feel like I've been so hyper focused on work that I haven't been as like laser focused on my cut. My weight loss is stalled, and I know it's because I need to like up my cardio, up my steps, and really I'm not getting enough water. I'm not like I feel like I've slacked off in like little ways in each of the categories that I need to like refocus, because I've been like, okay, I'm going to redo my exercise program because I have to shorten it because I don't have as much time to spend at the gym each day. So I have to have shorter workouts. And so I've been like, I'm going to redo my plan. Well, here we are 2-3 weeks later, and I still haven't redone my plan. So every day I'm going, oh shit. So I'm like making up the workout as I'm at the gym. And so I feel like it's kind of affected my my oomph at the gym. I was telling Dylan this morning, I don't care if I have to go to sleep at 1 a.m. I am getting that shit done. I'm getting it dialed in. I can't do this anymore. I haven't lost weight. I'm feeling good. My energy levels are really high. Like I really do think removing all those food groups has really helped. I feel like I'm like noticing consistently having energy in the morning, and that's like a first time in my life.
Wow.
Like literally experience for me. So I'm very happy about that. And I did test those different foods, and my body was like, no. So I'm going to keep those out. But yeah, I just need to like give myself a good
you just got your new job. You just got settled with that. Like, now that you're settled with that, you can get back into everything that we've been working on.
Yeah.
Things come in like ebbs and flows, and I feel like people expect weight loss or a cut or whatever to look so linear. Like they just expect it to start up here and you finish down here, and it's so far from that, like it's up and down. You have days that are amazing, you have days that are not good, you have months that are great and months that are not great, and it's like you have to roll with life.
Yeah. And I think I'm really grateful that you consistently remind me of that, because I'm the one that goes, it should follow my graph. It should follow my graph in my head. But I love that I have that reminder. I hear your voice. It's not linear, Rochelle. It's not linear.
It's true. Even like if I have like a day where, or like even like last month was like kind of a write-off for me, but I'm like, okay, it's fine. Like I can just get started again this week. So yeah, mine has been, last week was crazy. Oh my God. You were like, I'm going to roast you on the podcast.
I can't wait.
So longest story short, after Jay's episode of getting so dehydrated, getting into the hospital, I swear to God, he had a few hours to live. After that, we got back to Playa del Carmen. And
I'm ready.
And where we live there is like, it's kind of secluded. It's in this big community, but the community's not finished yet. So there's going to be like a hospital and all these stores and everything, but it's not done. So to go to actually the grocery store is a bit of a mission. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going. And I looked in the fridge and there was chicken that we made before we went to Tulum. So it was like probably 3 days since we went to Tulum. It was about 7 in total since we cooked it. So basically, the worst part was that I gave myself food poisoning. Everybody was like, oh yeah, everybody gets food poisoning in Mexico. I'm like, it's not even from the Mexican food. It's from the food that I cooked a week ago.
Me. chicken's got black spots on it. It's fine. It's slimy.
It just
wipe
smelled
it.
like the spices just smelled like a little bit like stronger. And I was like, it doesn't smell like bad chicken. It smells fine. So we're gonna be okay. And then yeah, I did that. As soon as I kind of finished the food, I had 2 pieces of toast and chicken and some fruit. I'm like we had scraps in the fridge, okay? And I'm like, oh, I don't feel so good. And I thought it was from the bread that I ate because I don't eat bread. Like can't remember the last time I ate 2 slices of bread and it was just like sitting there and I was like, oh God, I don't feel well. And then later I started to put it together and I was like, shit, maybe that chicken wasn't good to eat. But I swear to God, I've eaten chicken that was like 7 days old before, but I didn't heat it up. So anyways, a couple hours later, I'm like literally spewing my guts up. Jay is still not fully well. And he was like, are you kidding me right now? And I just turned and looked at him. I was like, look, babe, I just couldn't let you win that wet. Like, that's it. Like, you touched it yesterday, so I needed to, I needed to give you a run for your money. He's like, you're fucking nuts.
I need more attention.
Yeah. So then, anyways, he was like not feeling that well. I was throwing up like crazy. His friend bought us like a Gatorade, thank God, because I was like, I need some electrolytes. Couldn't keep that down. It was probably like 8 hours later from when I had any water. And I was like, I'm not doing a fucking repeat. I need got somebody like it was insane. Okay. So even though the medical system there like rips you off, we had such a good experience, minus the first hospital we went to, but like the second one that he got treatment at was really good and super fast. And so then we went online. I'm like, I need you to find an IV to come to the house. Like, I'm not doing this shit again. And I had to fly in 2 days. So I got IV lady to come, like a nurse to come to the house at like 9 p.m. on a Friday. We had text them.
Here in America.
No, we had text. We texted them and she was at the house 25 minutes after we texted them.
Wow.
That's crazy. Anyways, so that was insane. That was amazing. So, that was my Friday. So I felt like absolute dog shit. I had to fly for an entire day. And so I was just really resting and recovering. And
don't forget it was coming out both ends.
It was. I forgot about that. I was sitting on the toilet and I had the garbage can in my hands.
There's your confession.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's my confession. Oh my God. Like it was so bad. Anyways, so I basically had no appetite for, well, basically until not yesterday, the day before. So probably like 5 days after I got my appetite back. I also came home, started getting this weird cold or whatever the fuck is going on. So I think that didn't help things. I was at work. I was like, I'm going to collapse. Like I need to go home. And yeah, so that was
lost 2 pounds.
I lost 2 pounds. It must have been from food poisoning.
What we said we're gonna call this episode, or or some offer we're gonna make. Old chicken weight loss system. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, that was funny. Like literally, yeah, eat chicken, lose weight. Eat old chicken, lose weight. Like it was crazy. Because yeah, I had gained weight. Like for sure, I was feeling like a little squishy. I'm like, oh, whatever. It'll take like 2 weeks to get back on track. No, good bout of food poisoning. She fucked me real up. She fucked me right up. So yeah.
Dang it.
My goals for this week were just to either I didn't know how it was gonna be. I know because on Sunday we started Sundays, right? So I was like, okay, I don't know how I'm gonna feel later in the week because it's cold. So I was like, okay, I'm either gonna work out twice or go for like 2-hour walks. And I'm gonna do 2 days of my macros this week, which is today and tomorrow, and sleeping. Oh yeah, I was like, I gotta recover. So my priority was sleeping at like being in bed at 9 or 9:30 every night.
Yeah,
that was my main goal. So yeah, I've been doing that. Anyways, we're on the mend. We're getting back on track. This week is gonna be amazing because I did here this morning and I felt good. So yeah, that was my the end of my Mexican vacation.
That's fun.
Great times, Anyway.
Yeah. So the challenge is going great.
Yeah, it's going great. I'm 2 pounds away from my goal weight. I actually no. Okay, so at the beginning of the year,
you're one bad meal away.
Yeah. It's so bad. You're one bad meal away from your dream weight. Fuck. Like literally,
Don't
it was
worry,
just.
I'm not considering eating bad chicken.
It's just not worth it, honestly. Like I felt like so bad for so many days. And even like it was so weird. I've never not had an appetite. I've always been like hungry and like eating lots of food. If anything, I need to not be so food focused. And I would look at
Mm,
food. I'm like, the thought of that makes me want to vomit. I don't even want to eat it. So I was like, I need to actually start eating calories because I hadn't eaten anything for like 2 days,
mm.
3 days probably. I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll just go get my favorite ice cream. So I had a few scoops of my favorite ice cream and I was like, okay, I'm cured.
Oh, I'm cured. That's nice. Man, I've had a sweet tooth like crazy. I was telling my coworkers what I told you the other day. I was like, it was so bad the other night that I had gummy vitamins
Oh,
to satisfy my sweet
stop.
tooth.
Your pee in the morning is like vibrant yellow from drinking so much vitamin C.
They're like so good. Emergency has these like gummy vitamins. They're like lemon and blueberry and strawberry flavored.
Oh,
And they're so good. It's like freaking candy, right? It tastes so good, especially since I don't have sugar. It's nighttime. I'm like, I need candy. I need something sweet. I'll have a gummy vitamin.
eating the free gummy vitamins in
I'm like
ER.
savoring it. Oh, so good. I'm like, oh my God. So now my Emma and Sarah is like two of my coworkers I see, like their offices are right next to mine. They're like, you got any gummy vitamins in there? I'm like, oh my God.
Like, not today because I ate them all.
I know. Oh, one day I'm gonna show up and they're gonna put gummy vitamins on my desk. I'll be like, this is awesome. Thank you.
Oh man, that's good.
All
Okay.
right. So let's get into it.
Okay, what we wanted to talk about, we kind of briefly mentioned this last episode, and I found this article. I don't even know where I saw it, but I think it's a good
in your steroids.
in my steroid scrolling binge on YouTube.
How to cycle without anyone knowing.
Without anybody knowing.
That.
Yeah. ChatGPT probably isn't gonna like that because mine knows that I like all the natural ways, so it's probably gonna be like, now I'm gonna enter that. I want to see what chat's gonna say. I think
it's gonna say there's better ways to do this.
Yeah.
Totally. I've had it deny me. I'm like, how do I do this? No, Rochelle, you can't do that. Wait, what? You're not my mom.
That's funny. Okay, so yeah, this topic. This is an article that I found online, and it's actually honestly super sad. So it says, we'll put the link in the show notes or the description. So it says, female bodybuilder in U.S. dies at 20. Trainer claims significant error led to heart attack. So her name is Jody Vance. She began feeling sick after attending a competition and was eventually transported to hospital where they declared her deceased. So this stuff is just so sad. It's talking about how she had a fatal heart attack while she was at this sports bodybuilding convention. And her death was really sudden and unexpected. Her heart stopped due to complications of severe dehydration. Despite all the efforts in the hospitals, they were unable to revive her. And then they say, she was such a beautiful person inside and out, and she will be missed every day. So I think this stuff is just insane, right? Because when we look at like the bigger picture of everything, especially, I don't know, like the bodybuilding industry, I think perpetuates a lot of this like steroid use. It was particularly in terms of like men, and now it's going towards women. And I think honestly, it's probably even worse for women than it is for men, because it's like you're overdoing your hormones. Like I just think it's bad in general, but like for women's bodies, especially, like our hormones are so delicate, and when you start putting this stuff into your body, and you're pushing yourself to like crazy extremes. Like in this instance, she was really dehydrated. Like she wasn't giving her body the nourishment that it needed, so that her body was just like, okay, we're done. So I think there's just so many things to talk about in this, like comparing ourselves, feeling like we need to be at a different point than we actually than what's actually possible genetically, especially as women, for our bodies, and leaning into a lot of like appreciation of the female body. And we're supposed to look different, and we're not supposed to be as jacked as men. And it really starts to draw this line. And I think my curiosity with like researching so much about this steroids is like, when I'm going through, I'm like, I just want to know what is normal and what is not. Like, what do normal female bodies look like? That's what I want to know, because I'm not going to name who we follow, but there's a influencer that we both know and we just talked about earlier that we follow, and she's like a wellness competitor, most definitely on steroids, but almost makes it seem like on her page that she doesn't bring it up. So it kind of makes you think like, oh wow, when you first see it, I'm like, holy shit, how did she get like that? Then the more you look at it and you're like, it's not natural. But we start to compare ourselves to this woman that has like super jacked legs, like huge quads, huge glutes. And then it starts to spiral into this comparison of like, oh, like, how are we going to get there? It's even the same with like, young men. There's so many young men who are on steroids in the gym, like, that you wouldn't even realize or you wouldn't even know. And there's no need for it. But I can understand where there's so much pressure to look a certain way and to be so muscular and all of these things, where it's like just appreciating yourself, appreciating your body. Especially as women, we're going to be a little bit softer looking than most men, right? So yeah, what are your thoughts on it?
My brain's all over the place, so I'll try to like keep it on the train. The girl Julia that we follow, I'm gonna say her name. I don't care. I don't have to say her last name. That's fine. But like, I don't think there's like, not in a shaming way of like, I'm not like calling her out or anything, but I feel like it's okay to talk about her. Like, I love her. I remember when I found her. I don't know which of us found her first. It doesn't matter. But we're
You
like,
did,
oh my
yeah.
God.
You recommended me to her.
I love her. I still love her. And I remember I didn't realize actually at first that she was on steroids. And I was like, that's what I want to look like. This is what I want my body to look like. Like I want to get like, I'm like, not quite, but just like right underneath there. That's where I'm trying to work to. And I was trying to follow what she was doing. I was trying to learn from her. And it wasn't, maybe it was you that you were like, I don't think she's natty. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And so I got on Reddit. I'm like, ah! And all of a sudden, all these articles are like, no way. And all the wellness competitors are not natural. They're all on steroids. It's like everybody knows they're on steroids, but nobody says it. It's like part of the status quo for that culture of wellness bodybuilders. It's we're on steroids, but we don't say we're on steroids. And I was really disappointed because I'm like, oh, I've been thinking I could get there. I've been thinking this is a realistic goal. And now to go, oh, it wasn't. And now I'm realizing you're not telling me this. It's actually like, I'm sure maybe the reasoning of going, oh, if I tell people, I will lose followers. People won't want to listen to me because they'll be like, oh, I can't get that. So why would I listen to her workouts? But I think and maybe she's going to be right about some people are going to be like, yeah, peace out. But I think she's lost people. She could potentially be losing people already because they go, well, she's hiding it. She's not being honest. She's not being authentic. But that's another discussion. I love her. But I also kind of go, that's not realistic.
The authenticity. There's a big missing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, now I want to know, like, what can I do? Like you said, like, what is attainable for me? So I actually look at her before steroid picture. I'm like, she looked freaking phenomenal beforehand. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, so that's attainable.
Yeah. Yeah. No, totally. And it's like, I think it's so like wellness, by the way, for everybody who's just listening, in bodybuilding, there's different categories. And there's like bikini, which is a little bit slender. And then there's wellness, which is like lower body dominant, capped shoulders, like a really hourglass figure. And then there's also figure, which is, I think, upper body dominant.
Or upper body, yeah.
Yeah. So there's just different categories. Basically, I have heard that everybody who's in the Olympia, like all of them, all the like, number one and like really high competitors, they're all on steroids. And so Yeah, it's so interesting because it's like there's like, yeah, finding what looks normal. I think actually the more that I lose weight, I thought that I was lower body dominant, or I just thought I was like bulky, you know? And I was like, cool, this will be easy for me to attain. And as I lose fat, I'm starting to realize that I actually think I have quite a petite frame,
Mm.
and I probably look more like a bikini competitor once I lose a little bit more weight. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's so interesting. It's so easy for us to get so caught up online about
Yeah.
comparing ourselves to other people. And, I don't even have social media on my phone anymore. I haven't for, well, since I closed my last business, right? Over a year and a half, probably, or
Oh.
2 years. I just don't, because I'm really mindful of like where my mind goes when I'm scrolling,
Oh yeah.
especially in the fitness industry. And immediately I just go to comparison and like, oh, I'm not big enough. Oh, I'm not this. Oh, I don't have this. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have that. Especially
Absolutely.
and it's just like a very subconscious thing, because it's like, oh, you see somebody has, you know, 500,000 followers, and
Mm.
oh, she has bigger glutes than I do. Oh, if I just get bigger glutes, I'm gonna have a bigger following. And it's like,
Yeah, or
not,
whatever it
it's,
is. Yeah.
yeah, or like whatever it is, or I'm gonna have more money, or I'm gonna have whatever, more whatever. And so I think it's like just really coming back to like honoring yourself, honoring your body, especially as women, like focusing on the things that we do love about ourselves and that we do appreciate about
Mm-hmm.
our bodies, and taking the time to grow that within yourself.
Mm-hmm. I liked the guy. I don't know if you've ever seen his account, Booty by Jax.
Oh yeah,
Where
yeah, yeah.
it was actually really helpful for me mindset wise, as far as comparing, because he like points out everybody that's a BBL or that
Oh
or
yeah,
using
I love
Photoshop on
that.
their
Yeah.
videos, because it not, and I like, some people get really triggered by it, and in some ways I go, well, let's be kind, but also like if the same person is saying, I built this glute naturally with this workout by my workout program, but they didn't get it naturally. That's like, it'd be like me going, I got my boobs from doing this chest workout. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. You know, um, but it's so, I liked it because it's like you said, like you scroll, you're subconsciously going, compare, 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 compare,
Hmm.
compare. And I do that in real life too. And that's something I'm like really focused on working on, is like not comparing myself and not putting one above one or one below, because that's just not right. We're all beautiful. We're all equal. Like my glutes look different from your glutes, but they're equal in beauty, like, anyway, I'm getting all over the place. I feel like a little bit of a squirrel right now, but I really liked the calling out to remind all these women, like, what, like this unrealistic expectation, like we're putting these expectations on ourselves to look like this, but that may not be possible based on your genetics, based on your bone structure, based on the money you have to pay for it. Like based on
The
your
figures
plastic
in your bank
surgeon.
account.
Yeah. Yeah. So like
Yeah.
being really careful about the expectations we put on ourselves, and like
Hmm.
really like separating what is society's expectations, what is my expectations, and like, but really, like, who cares about society's? Let's look at ours. Like, where are they coming from? Our expectation or standard we have for ourselves, because sometimes it's like we set these impossible to meet standards. What's realistic for ourselves? So it's like you're saying, like, what does a realistic body look like? Well, what's realistic for your body to ever, like, a peak, whatever your peak is, what would that be possible to look like? What would mine be possible to look like?
Yeah, I think it's super interesting. They did introduce in the bodybuilding world this thing called fit model division, where it's like significantly less lean and
Mm-hmm.
you're just a little bit more toned down. So it's kind of like it's definitely
Natural.
still a lean look, but it's more natural. Yeah, and it's like you could
Oh,
win that category without doing steroids.
oh, that's cool. I gotta look at that.
Super cool.
That's neat.
Yeah, yeah, super cool. it's crazy what is happening. I've even like watched some YouTube videos on guys who are openly talking about steroids and how much they take. And like it's kind of going back to like what you're saying. Like I think that's good because now you know, okay, to actually get there, here's what's happening. But then it also normalizes like steroid use between a lot of people. And they're like, oh, well, so and so is taking X amount of steroids on his page, so it's okay for me to take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
like it's becoming more and more prevalent for teenage boys to start taking steroids now because the people that they follow are like so open about it. They're like, oh, okay, so it's good for me. It's like, well, you got to have the full picture. I mean, I like that we're talking about it, that it's open.
Oh my God, totally. And yeah, I was talking to this guy the other day, 17 years old, and he's like, yeah, I think I want to start taking steroids. And I was like, okay, but why? And he doesn't have a consistent gym routine, doesn't have the nutrition down. I'm like, what is the point? Like if you haven't been working out, just start working out regularly. You're going to get huge gains because you haven't
You're
been
a
working
fucking
out.
teenage boy. You don't even have to push that hard to get results.
Especially as a beginner. Especially as a beginner, you know what I mean? And it's like, just get the basics down and then go from there. Like it's crazy. Like even like one of the things that I even say to like myself in a negative light, but one of the thoughts that I have that's not productive, I guess I would say, is oh well, I've been working out basically since I started diving when I was like 15 or 16. Okay, so that makes it
diving?
Yeah, like springboard diving.
You did that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, just when I was like in high school and we started working out in the gym then. So that's like 20 years. I'm like, and I look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, I'm not fucking shredded. Why am I not super shredded and fucking jacked? And I'm like, I've been training for 20 years and I'm like, I feel like I've been training for 5 seconds. And I'm like, I don't feel like my muscles reflect that. But then I'm like, but it's been such a journey and an evolution and I've trained for different things and different purposes and muscles and the things that you learn and like it's just constantly evolving and I'm doing it myself. It's not like I've hired a fucking personal trainer. Like a lot of these people who are in bodybuilding have personal trainers like a couple days a week, you know, and they're checking in with somebody every week. And so it's like, okay, just chill the fuck out. Like stop being so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
So
that totally actually reminds me. I saw this video, gosh, it doesn't matter when, but I saw it recently. And it was this guy, he was showing his he was like doing all like his progress video and he said something like, I've been working out for 15 or 17 years and look at the results I've got. And so it was actually this bodybuilding coach that was I got a fuzzy this bodybuilding coach that was reacting to this video, right? And he had this video, he was showing his results and he looked like a regular guy, right? Like you could see he had some definition, but he wasn't like jacked or anything, right? He wasn't totally like just shredded like you would think if somebody's been working out for 15 years. And the comment sections were just like, bro skipped every day at the gym, like, you know, like they were just trashing this guy. Like, what the fuck is this? You call this results? You're proud of this? Pretty much just calling him a freaking loser, right? And I loved this bodybuilder that was exposing this and being like, are you kidding me right now? This guy has worked his ass off and you can tell like he's natural. And like people see so much of the steroid use or of this, or even like surgically enhanced use or photoshopped. Everybody's photoshopping themselves or putting butt pads in themselves, like for their videos and stuff. It's like, we don't even know what's real. And now let's add AI into it. And our expectations of like, if you work out for a year, you should be totally shredded. And if you look like a regular, if you
look at my gains.
I know, right? Right. And it's like, this is, everybody's putting these expectations of like this steroid use or this just not even real, not even in the realm of reality on themselves. And if they're putting it on strangers, you know, they're putting it on themselves. Right? What does that mean for ourselves? What do we need to do? We need to really define what am I expecting? What am I actually expecting out of this cut challenge that I'm in right now? And like this picture that I have in my mind of what I'm going to look like at the end of the cut, is that real? Is that attainable? And what
Or
do
is
I
it
need
like,
to do to clean that up?
it's like you have this, it's like we have this enhanced filter in our mind that's like generated from everything that we've seen on social media consciously and unconsciously into what we think that we should look like, you know what I mean? And I think too, when I get myself caught into those moments of comparing myself, like I should have bigger legs, I should have bigger glutes, I should have this, I should have that. Like
Mhm.
for me, I was thinking to myself today, I'm like, my glutes, I just had to take an entire year to learn how to activate them because I kid you not, I couldn't even activate them. So it was like,
Mm.
okay, that took time. Another one of my friends, she actually did do bodybuilding shows for like 7 or 8 years. And she's like, it's fucking
Mhm.
crazy. Like, she's like, I have done anything and everything to build muscle. And she's like, you just get to a point where like you can't put on any more muscle.
Mhm.
And so like of course you can grow and over time and like whatever, but it's like you're not going to get the same effects that you're expecting to from taking steroids. It's a really long, slow process. And when you reach the potential of your muscles, that's kind of where you are, you know? And so
Yeah.
um yeah, I think when I catch myself in those moments, it's really bringing myself back to like, I actually lift really fucking heavy so that when I'm an 85-year-old grandma, my legs don't fucking give out and my bones are
Mhm.
strong. Like I,
Mhm.
you know, and I also think too, like if something was to ever happen to my health, I know that my body has lots of tissue to support itself on. Or even
Mhm.
like when I was sick, it was like, okay, cool, I trust my body because my body is strong to get me through this illness. Or
Mhm.
like I train to have good immunity, I sleep to do all of
Mhm.
these things, and it goes so far beyond just our physique and what we are focused on, right? So it's like when I catch myself getting carried away of like, yeah, I have been training for 20 years, but why don't I look like it, quote unquote? Like focus on why I'm doing it.
Mhm.
And I enjoy lifting. I enjoy pushing myself. I enjoy that physical fatigue and exhaustion and
Mhm.
seeing what I'm capable of. So it's like cycling back, not getting so caught up in the fucking rat race that your brain takes you on.
Yeah, absolutely. And really, like, I think we've talked about this a lot as far as, like why we do the challenge the way we do it. It's eh, being more focused on our why, being more focused on the process, our insides. Like, what is this doing for me mentally, emotionally, spiritually? What is this doing for me, you know, permanently, like for my identity rather than how hot am I going to look? Really trying to not focus, like not making the outcome the end result, but
Yeah.
process, the habits, the identity, the who we are. And I think really evaluating what is that we expect the outcome to be,
Mm-hmm.
like in 2 months time, like, because goals are important and reaching outcomes are important. But like, what are they and why are they? Why is that your expectation?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think you need your glutes bigger? Why do you think you need to lose weight? Why do you think you need to look a certain way? Do you actually want that? Is that going to support, what goal is that supporting? What are you trying to get out of there? And
Mm-hmm.
really like coming back to setting yourself up for success and actually like seeing the beauty in what you have already.
Yeah, I was watching in my misery of my food poisoning, I was watching Full Swing. I love Full Swing. Oh my God, it's like one of my favorite shows to watch. It's a golf show. And
Oh, okay.
hello, I love golfing. I'm basically a professional golfer in my mind. I only
Oh, okay. I haven't thought about that. I was like, does she still golf? I don't think
in the
so.
summer, seasonal, seasonal, seasonal.
Oh, okay.
But there's a professional golfer in there and he was talking about his journey, and golf is a very like mental thing.
Mhm.
Because you can see if they've had a few bad strokes when they get into their own head, you know? And one of the golfers said, he's like, when I start noticing I'm getting off or like things aren't going the way that I want them to, he's like,
Mhm.
I remind myself I'm too focused on the outcome. And he's like,
Mm.
when my mind is getting me like, oh, I need to get X, or I need to chase this person, or they're X amount of strokes ahead of me, or whatever. He's like, I really just come back and I focus so much on the process. He's like, I got into golf because I fucking love it and it's fun. So that's like the first thing about it is focusing on the process of making it fun, and like the outcome will come. The outcome is going to come, and you have to trust it and you have to have faith in that. But you have to be focused on the process here right now, rather than 100 days ahead or even a couple hours ahead. So like listening to that was just kind of like what you were saying is like, yeah, we're focused on the process. We're not focused on the outcome, because the process is everything, right?
That reminds me, that makes me think of the lady that we found for she's making game segments today.
Yes.
Gail McNeil. You found her. She's freaking awesome.
So cute. I saw it and I was like, yes, she is.
Oh, I love
so
her.
Games.
Yeah.
She's great.
So she's 50's sister on YouTube. If you want to find her, we'll link her down in the description in the show notes. Gail McNeil. And the video you sent was showing her process. Like I love it because I totally relate to it, where she started intermittent fasting and she started making her own thing. Like, I'm going to be focused on this type of nutrition in my fast. And when I eat, I can eat whatever I want, however much. I'm going to be full, but I'm going to eat in these hours. And I love that she just followed her body. And then she's like, I'm going to start jump roping. And so it was like, she almost died. I'm like, she jump roped? Good Lord. I would be dead. I'm gone. Don't resuscitate.
DNR.
But, and like, you can see she shares her process of the jump rope, but I love it because she seems so focused on the experience, her body, her nutrition, feeling good, and not the outcome. She just was like, I don't feel comfortable in my body. I don't feel right. And she focused on the process of eating how she wanted to eat, making her own rules, doing the exercise that she loved, and enjoying that process. She went from 20 jumps to like 3,000 jumps.
I know.
And now you can see that her process is like, she's gotten the outcome that she didn't probably even expect that she would get. She's beautiful. I mean, she was always beautiful. She's beautiful. She's lost that weight that she was holding on. Like, but most important, she feels so good. She feels right in her body. Like, this is me. I feel like myself. And she's confident and like putting herself out there in ways that she probably wasn't beforehand. And you can see it in her eyes.
She's
like her
beaming.
Before, after, she's just radiating all this beautiful light and like putting herself out there. Like, she probably wouldn't have been on YouTube. Now she's on YouTube helping other women in their 50s and stuff. I love it.
It's so important to find like what makes you happy and what you enjoy, because it literally just like, as soon as I found her, the energy that I saw coming from her profile and the energy that I felt, I was like, she is fucking awesome. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
And two, she's doing it she's 50. Like, you can do anything. You can fucking get in shape at any age in your life. Like, age is not an excuse, you know? And my auntie sometimes says that to me, and I'm like, Auntie, you can change at any like point in time that you want to. So beautiful, so exciting. Okay.
Absolutely.
Good episode. That was fun.
Yeah. Well, we could go on forever about all this stuff. We didn't even really talk much about some of it. Save it for later.
Yes, I know. Okay, so we have something so exciting to announce. So we have been loving our challenge so freaking much that we are starting our own Hot Girl Summer Shred. It's a free 30-day challenge, and we don't have all the details yet. But by the time we do some things behind the scenes, we are going to have a link for you with some information in the show notes here. So make sure you go and click that if you want to join. And we're just so excited to start it. So make sure you click that link, join, and yeah, we're really excited to see you there. The other thing too is we will leave in the show notes as well. She's making game segment or our gym confessions if you want to be part of any of those segments. So thank you so much for listening, and thanks for being here this week.